Hello, hello, hello. Just setting up real quick. Making sure I have everything I need for it. Alright. Turn that down. So this way I can get... Where is it? Okay. Running this as background noise. Hopefully that's quiet enough. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's just get it loaded. Alright. Let's just go ahead. Wait for anybody else that wants to show up before I get fully started. Oh. To whomever is watching, how are you doing? I hope you're well. And am I coming through clear enough? That's good, Jack. Good to see you. Good to see you. Is the music, can you hear the background music? Is it high enough? Is it low enough? I have it on a 2 out of 100, so, just at least some kind of a background music. Yeah. Is it, so it's cool? It's good? Okay. Nice, 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 nice. Thank you. All right. So, I'm just getting everything, I have I have only one screen, so I'm trying to pull everything up, switching between openings, all that jazz, questions and whatnot. Yeah, you got here's some background stuff. Here we go. Okay. All right. I think I got everything up. So, oh, it's a good day. It's a Wednesday. Huh? Plenty of things that go down on a Wednesday. But today is a stream, and after the fact of going over everything, I'm going to do a summary for a video. So this way, anybody who wants to see exactly what's going on after the fact can do so. Without having to go through like an hour and a half long stream to hear everything. Anybody be able to watch the stream if they want like all the juicy in-depth stuff. But at the very least, I'm gonna be doing that. But today, it is going over things that are going to be going on with the channel. Today also just kind of going over where I'm looking forward to. Also, it's a Q&A, so if you have any questions regarding myself or the channel, just to kind of get a little bit more in depth, please feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, as long as they're just it's within relative to me or the channel that require actually gauges any conversation about. Um, so here, I'm gonna move my mic just a little closer. Yeah, so that is pretty much what's going on today. And I had been asked a slew of questions, and I will go into those here shortly. And this is actually the first time I've done really anything like this, so if I feel like I get off track or anything, thank you, ADHD. Just please don't be afraid to let me know. Um, no, and as people come in, of course, they'll be able to take the highlights, things like that. Um, no, I yeah, I would like yep, ADHD and autism. It's a lovely combination. Uh-huh. Yeah, so yeah, it definitely causes like it's good in some ways, but it definitely causes a lot of trouble if I don't keep myself in check. Okay. So, anyways, to go ahead and get started, and if anybody coming in the chat comes in, in the middle of conversation, you know, uh, I can re-highlight, quickly if it's related to whatever I'm talking about. Otherwise, they'll just have to watch after the fact. Again, I have been asked quite a few questions regarding the channel itself, and asked like things, what kind of games I plan on doing forward on my niche and whatnot, as well as things about why I even started the channel in general. So I'm just going to kind of go from the past and bring forward, and then towards the end of this, we'll go into what the future is looking like. Uh, yep. Okay. So one question that I've already been asked. Yes, you finally have the chat on screen. Yes, I did go ahead and do that. Hi, YouTubes. Okay. Uh, and I'll go ahead and I'll figure somewhere I can place it, with the actual games, like the actual streams and whatnot. So I'll continue to use it, and we'll see how it does. I actually ended up, for a while, I was opting out of using chat on stream just because it felt like it took away from, like, it directly from the content. But at the same time, I know chat on stream ends up being something that people like using as well. And in my head, it was like, well, if I'm streaming on YouTube and you get the live chat while you get the live chat replay, it's not necessarily bad. It was more, there's only so much that fits on a screen, and at least, from the way I look at things with chat, uh, you're new to the channel. One of coworkers recommended. Well, I am thankful that they recommended to you. Are you really starting in spring? Yeah, well, I'm so glad that you came here, and yeah, the channel itself. So I'll introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Andrew, or Andy. I also go, of course, by Blood Eyes Blood. And to half of the people who usually are in chat, apparently Boomer. There's a lot of things people call me, but just don't call me Shirley, and don't call me late for dinner. Yeah, so I have been an off and on gaming streamer over the past 6 or 7 years, and I had initially started off on Twitch, um, and he'll call me He won't call him, yeah. So I initially started off on Twitch, and because of life things, and I'll go in a little more detail to kind of understand where I come from um, on that. But I started off on Twitch a while ago, and a lot of my scheduling for streaming had been spotty. But I had always really wanted to do gaming streaming, mainly because I love. I play video games. I enjoy games. I like seeing what people create in terms of, you know, like I do love new mechanics. I like seeing what people do with their art styles and everything, and also like what kind of stuff that they put in. And yeah, long term YouTube definitely is better. I found that out this year, and I'll go into that here shortly. But so when I first started streaming again on Twitch, because it was it was back 2016, 2017, when YouTube was going through was like going through a transition where the algorithm seemed to be pretty screwed up, and at the same time, for what I had going on in my personal life, because my divorce was pretty fresh around that time. I am a divorced father of one. He is 10 years old. My pride and joy, my son. And at the time, I ended up having a rig, a very cheap rig. It had a freaking it had a GTX 1050 Ti in it. It was a DDR3 rig. In 2017, that's already considerably, low bar, but I was still able to at least run a VR set on it, and I wanted to get into streaming because I've always loved entertaining. A lot of the music that I play on the channel, uh, what you're hearing in the background now, it's not mine, it's a free source, but I do a lot of music. I do enjoy things like acting. I like, you know, I do like telling jokes. I like interacting. Uh, I do not, Sprix. I do not. uh, but now I really enjoy to entertain. And when it came to my scheduling at the time, and up until this year, um, like I was in a position where trying to edit videos and such, like I didn't really have the time to be able to sit down and learn the software on top of everything else I was having to do in my life, because I was constantly having to more or less be on the move, and streaming, less of taking the easy way out. It was at least the best way that I could still put content out there in a specific time frame and be able to take care of everything else that I had going on. And that's been the criteria for most of the time. Um, and I was streaming off and on Twitch for that time, and it was only about 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, that I was able to put a real full dedication into my channel. I was able to get a schedule set down. I was starting to be able to try to push more growth, be able to have things moving forward. Um, Again, with what I've always had going on in my life, um, then I had to do something with it. I wanted to do something with it because, like I said, I love to entertain. I love it when you all come and chat, whether you're poking fun at me or you're laughing along with me, whatever's going on. As long as I am actually entertaining you, I really enjoy that. Now, with the way my head works, my idea of, like, in terms of entertainment, of course, could probably vary in regards to everybody's. Everybody's different. So, what I end up putting out as video content now and such may or may not uh, be, considered entertaining, but at least I want to try the best that I can with what I have available. Yeah, yeah, and you found me through Doorwolf. And moving forward into the whole deal about the streaming, how I got to this point here on YouTube. So I did actually start my YouTube channel back in, I want to say it was 2018, 2019, where I actually did post some videos. Um, or it may have been, yeah, I think it was about there. Yeah, when I had posted some videos. My little brother, people see him on the channel, hear him on the channel, Candy. He helped me out with because he knew a little editing, but not much. So he helped me out with some videos at that point, and those videos are no longer available on the channel. Just because I went ahead and ran a fresh start, and those videos, while for a like a beginning thing and just trying at the same time, the quality in themselves was really like you really couldn't tell what was going on. So that's why I ended up removing those. Not that, ashamed of them or anything, just nobody would ever watch them. But I did post a couple videos because I wanted to try with that, but ultimately it got difficult, so I just stuck with the streaming. And last year, or well, actually earlier this year, in the last year, earlier this year, I ended up meeting Dorwolf. And it was through him, I met him while we were, I actually raided him on Twitch, and we became good buddies. Like, I find a good friend in him at least. I don't know how he thinks of me, ultimately, but I find a good friend in him at least, and we joke, we rage, we have a lot of fun. But in meeting him, and mind you, up to this point, to the beginning of this year, I maybe had, I would say 300 followers. Um, and yeah, met him, and thanks to him and the way things have been recently, I have been able to learn the software to be able to do the editing. And of course, I mess up and I'm still having issues with audio and things like that, but that's the way it goes. um, but I ended up meeting him that way, and we just started playing games together. He helped me be able to actually build, and was the person who ultimately offered me the nudge. Has been like, aside from, there's a couple others, Bruce Strick. Anybody who uh, comes to the lives knows who Bruce Strick is. Him and Bruce Strick have just been an immense amount of support and help, and a real pushing force to be able to help me get to where I am. Because since the beginning of this year, my channel, just back in August, uh, we celebrated the fact that my channel had a 1000% growth in terms of subscribers. It went from 29 subscribers, and now we're getting really close to hitting 500 in just the first year of me actually actively posting on YouTube and streaming on YouTube. Putting, having all my content on this platform, and it's really been nothing but good things in regards to the way the platform has been. And my reason for, several reasons for switching from Twitch to YouTube full time, which happened in July, is a couple things. First off, a lot of people already know what Twitch has done with all of their stuff for affiliates and partners. Like, they pretty much gave us the finger, and they're still giving people the finger. But also, YouTube has definitely opened up a lot more to be able for, they've already had the deal that, more growth, like Sprix has said earlier. There's a lot more longevity in terms to the platform. I make a video, it's there forever. On Twitch, like, they'll remove any past streams after 30 days. Yep, long form, short form, live. Yeah, they really have molded it to where it's made it like a much better platform in my regards. Yeah. in all regards. They made a much better platform, and I am thankful that I could even have the growth that I've gotten this year. Like, I was not expecting, like, think of it from this perspective as well. Like, I understand the algorithms and everything are different, so of course it should have been a little easier, but I didn't think that, in the 5 to 6 years that I was streaming on Twitch, you know, and the 2 years that I was doing it full time, I had only hit 350 followers, and almost none of them ever really came to streams. And now on YouTube, I am so close to hitting 500, and the amount of watch hours I've gotten in just the first year alone, it has been exponentially wonderful. And that leads me to, thank everybody for coming to the streams, watching the videos, leaving the comments, leaving the likes. Like, I appreciate it all, whether it be praise or criticism. I really do appreciate it, because especially myself, I can get a little overwhelmed quickly if I have a lot of stuff thrown at me at the same time, and then my mind goes into full ADHD mode, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to focus on. Um, and it kind of goes from there. But being able to at least have the guide from, everybody who is actually coming to the channel and watching and interacting, like, that's a really big thing for me. Mainly the interactions, which again is another reason why I really enjoy the streaming over videos. Like, I know you can post comments and things on videos, but having that live interaction to kind of know in the moment works, at least in my head, it works a lot better for me. But of course, I enjoy making the videos as well, learning new things every single time that I am, posting up and seeing what y'all have to say about it. So it definitely is, it definitely is a big thing. But that's ultimately, where I've came from, in regards to starting my channel, and what actually inspires me to create content. Again, it's really entertainment, that, I like entertaining people. Of course, as the channel grows and, I put more time to it, of course, I'm hoping that I hit that growth that allows me to turn it into an income, because, I'm, you know, starving artist kind of deal. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's never somebody who, you know, don't do anything for free in this world kind of deal. Uh, yeah, that's where it came from. And branching into that, like, the going from what inspires me to create content, I had also been asked about, like, what what kind of, like, with the games that I play and everything. First off, this will actually be a two-parter. Is firstly, why do I play the games that I do play on the channel? Um, and if there's any specific genres that I prefer, or if there's any genre that I'm going to throw my niche into. And that's something that's been kind of itching at my head for a while, is the niche part. But we'll go into that here in a second. To what I do with the games that I feature on the channel. Well, firstly, I enjoy playing games that I can play with others. Not every game is going to have it to where it could be a 16-person game where, all the friends, any friends I have would be able to play, but I do enjoy playing, a lot of co-op games. Um, because of course, again, I feed off of other people, so it's definitely a lot more fun if I have people that I can play with, and it's a game that I can generally enjoy. Um, And when it comes to the games themselves directly, um, like in terms of what makes me pick them, have I played A Way Out? I don't believe I have. I don't believe I have played that. But for like, I enjoy games in every genre. The only genre that I'm particularly against is really battle royales, which anybody who's been on the channel for a while knows that I'm not particularly fond of battle royales because into uh, expand on that is that so initially I actually had played PUBG a bit when it first came out. Um, and I had actually put some hours in. I had actually put some real hours into Fortnite when it first came out as a battle royale. And whether I ended up winning or losing, and I've played in not just Fortnite, not just PUBG. Now I've played like I believe it was Daisy. I've played because I believe they have a battle royale version. Um, I've played Call of Duty battle royales. I've played, of course. Let's see, what else would be considered as a battle royale? I'm trying to remember the games I've played that would seem like it. I know games like The Cycle is considered more of an extraction shooter. But when The Cycle like first came out, it was pretty much a battle royale. Um, yeah, I know Extraction is different genre. I'm saying like or like when The Cycle first came out, it was purely battle royale though. Like more or less because the whole deal with the wall, the whole dropping in instance PvP, and yeah, when the site like so the cycle as we've seen it this year, um they changed a lot compared to the first instance and the second instance. This year was the third time they've tried releasing the cycle. Yeah, the cycle's dead, and it died off the first two times as well. Like they changed that game three times, and while keeping the idea of you know getting items to extract, it's like it's ultimately the first two times the cycle was out, it was pretty much a battle royale. Yeah. uh, but games like battle royales, it pretty much, yeah, and cheaters ruin battle royales a lot. Like that's one thing that I'm also not a big fan of, that somebody is willing to just like cheat in that kind of game. Other battle royales, Apex Legends. I have played Apex Legends, and it just like for the 3-man drop and everything. Yeah, each person had their own kind of skills, um, and it was okay for a couple games, but uh, Mini Royale. Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Um, because there's a lot of potential with that game, and it wasn't bad. Like so with a lot of the battle royales that I have played, there's two to three key things that just kind of throw me off. The first and main thing is the repetition. Okay, is very difficult for me to deal with repetition in terms of uh, like doing the exact same thing over and over, even if you end up dropping into a different spot in a battle royale, and you're going a different place. Yeah, you're finding a different weapon, but ultimately the goal is kind of, and I know that's with like a lot of like team shooters and things like that, But one thing that sets like battle royales apart from things like, let's say, Veiled Experts, in terms of being a shooter with what we considered a a repetitive goal, is at the very least there's a bit more of a tactic span and such like that. Uh, yeah, yeah. Um, and for the second reason on why I don't like battle royales is like it's it's most of the battle royale scenes just feel so toxic. Um, it's like the way I see battle royales as they come off is like don't like I don't like associating into that kind of span, especially since it's a dime a dozen cents. Um, I may not be making sense into what I'm saying, but overall, battle royales just have this feel to them that make me not want to even go near them. And I play them every now, like you see, I play them every now and then. And like for my son, I will still play Fortnite with my child every now and then because he loves Fortnite. That's what he likes, and I'll do that with him. Um, but in terms of my own personal interest, it's all kind of like it all just kind of feels copy paste at at that point. You drop in, you have the barrier closing in, and you have to run into the middle, and it's either shot or be shot, and it just kind of goes from there. I guess another thing that kind of throws it off is the whole fact that it kind of feels also like Minecraft Hunger Games, but with guns. So, uh, that's not much. That's not much of a reason, but that's where that falls in. And to Mini Royale, yes, I did review Mini Royale on the channel, and for uh, for Mini Royale, one thing that Mini Royale currently has, and it's the only thing that it currently has right now, in my view, is the height. Now, of course, with places like Fortnite and I know in Call of Duty and everything, there's for Battle Royale, there's a lot of it's a lot more flat land. I mean, and when I say flat, I know there's like hills and things, but a lot of stuff feels more like you could see straight across. There are like a few mountains, and I know that there's like a cityscape. Uh, but with Mini Royale, the overall map has depth to it. It's not just, like almost like a 2D plane. You actually have plenty of places you can go up and down. Like there's hidden crevices that you could go into. Like there is a lot of area that you be able to go into, which I really, really appreciate that because it actually gives a more sense of urgency. Like, where could they be hiding rather than just, oh, are they over on this hill? Are they over on this hill? Are they over on this hill? Yeah, no, you'd have to keep your head on a swivel. And I do appreciate that. Now, I would like to see, and the art style is pretty nice. The whole deal of it being army men in the toy room. That part, as a gimmick, it's really nice. I do like it. But outside of that, for the gameplay, I'm hoping to see at least a little bit more growth and some more stuff that would ultimately set apart the fact that it's a battle royale, but I want to see more to set it apart from other battle royales. So that's where Mini Royale is concerned. So I am looking forward to hopefully playing more of it on the channel if it does work. Um, and just kind of go from there with it. So we're just keeping our eyes on it, and hopefully we find more for it. Um, and so to span in, from that to specific genres I actually prefer. Um, so I'm actually and I haven't played much of them on the channel, but I am a big TCG player. In fact, I was playing them for a bit on the channel. I did have some videos up, doing a Yu-Gi-Oh play deal, and I've also played some Magic on stream as well. Um, yeah, no, TCGs. So if I was to do physical TCGs, yes, Rocco. Physical TCGs definitely are too expensive to try to stay relevant. And yeah, pack openings, deck builds, things like that. But like, so with deck building, so to throw in this instance, Yu-Gi-Oh in itself definitely is something that I don't plan on doing on the channel anymore. Um, yeah, and like I said, that's what a lot of people do. Yeah, like each their own. Just kind of putting into example. Something like Yu-Gi-Oh. While it's a big card game, it's very linear. Like they have big linear metas. No matter if you're playing historic or um, anything. Yeah, I would rather play D&D as well. And actually, we'll get into something about that later. Here after a bit. But like things like Magic the Gathering, there's so many possibilities, and I'm what you call a legacy player, where I use cards from any and all sets all the way back to the first set, and I like coming up with the most stupid, heinous stuff ever. Like recently, I actually made a crazy deck that gives me like in one turn, I was able to gain um, like 400 life, and at the same time, that gave over 400 counters onto all the creatures I had on the field. So, like making game breaking stuff like that with Magic is a lot of fun. But that's just me. Generally for the channel, um, but I'm just going into specific genres that I like and I prefer. This isn't necessarily what I'm saying is going to be on the channel. So no worries on that. I mean, if anybody wants to see something like that, going into what Jack just said, D&D, yeah, I actually am a DM, and I'm also a player, and I like doing homebrew stuff. So if at some point in time I could end up either making a D&D channel or at least just adding it into this channel because it is a game. Critical Clot. Yeah, something like that. Um, just call it Nat One Gaming or something like that. Why not? Mm. But yeah, I would not mind doing something like that. Like I really do enjoy D&D. It's it's fun. I actually like doing homebrew because I like coming up with stories and such. So, like if I could do like some homebrew D&D stuff and everything, like I would totally be on that. I would just need to find the time and the players and whatnot to be able to make it a consistent thing. That's kind of the big thing for when it comes to doing that. Uh, but yeah, back into specific genres. Yes, I do enjoy shooters. And it in terms of the engagement and whatnot on what it is like VX. I do love VX. We all try to play VX as much as possible. The game is, of course, not being advertised by the company right now in the US because they're wanting to make sure that the game is just right before they start advertising out to the US and it doesn't end up being a big flop, which is understandable to a degree. Um, and then other shooters that we have played on the channel. Like we've gone through quite a few. I am also a fan of, well, I would say MOBAs, but specifically, I love the game Smite. It's a really, really fun game, and it was actually through a Smite raid that I ended up finding Dorwolf. You know, Armageddon. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Uh, so that's give me a second here. Okay. Um, but let's see. MOBAs are kind of nice. I can't handle the right. But even then, you know, to the extent, you know, I still thank you either way. Um, but yeah, so with the MOBAs, I mean, I can't handle the anthropomorphic, like games like Diablo and League of Legends, that kind of top-down view. It kind of messes with my vision a little bit. Um, Gives me a bit of a headache, so that's why I don't really play many of those kind of games. Otherwise, I would at least try playing maybe Dota if I wanted to play more MOBAs. But Smite being like a third-person game is pretty fun. Yeah, FPS, TPS are always fun. I do enjoy playing the horror games with friends. Uh, yeah, I do enjoy playing horror games with friends. Um, you know, depending on what it is, because anybody who watches the Torture Tuesdays, like last night, you know, we were playing Dead by Daylight. I was playing with the Queens of Horror, as I know them, Batgirl, Doom, and sometimes we get Crimson Nikki to play with us as well. You know, another Queen of Horror, um, and I do enjoy that. Alien Isolation is the only horror game I played, and I see Buddy said, "What about playing Satisfactory?" Yeah, that's another That's another genre I really enjoy playing as well. First off, haven't played Alien Isolation. Secondly, Satisfactory falls in another genre I really like, which is the I like the open world survival building kind of stuff, like not just necessarily Minecraft, but you know, games like, of course, like Satisfactory, and then you also have like Space Engineers is another one. Like I really, really enjoy how engaging games that have crafting go. So that in itself is also a really fun game. Like you know, those are really fun games. That's something else that I really enjoy. And then um, like yeah, overall there's quite a few um there is quite a few games that I do like in that regards. Um Let me see. Hold on. Okay. I'm losing my place here with my listing. Um, but anyways, uh, I enjoy those. Like pretty much I find enjoyment in almost every genre that I end up getting a hold of. It kind of breaks down to what the game is offering. It's meant to kind of keep my mind in check and go from there. Like again, I would love to play games like, you know, as long as I have friends with me, as long as I have people that, you know, want to play co-op with me on it as well, then I'm definitely down for trying it. Um, you know, like we all have our own different interests, so of course there's games that I'm not going to want to play. And going into stuff for the channel itself. Yeah. Hypercharge content soon. Yes, there will be hypercharge content. I am in the process of editing that now. Um, yeah, so I'll actually be focusing on that uh, later on tonight. Hypercharge, so it came out a couple years ago. But basically it's a tower defense. Uh, yeah, it's a tower defense game where you play as toys, FPS or TPS. Yeah, TPS FPS. Okay, back on track to summarize. To summarize the the overall on the process and what I prefer, and in terms of finding a niche, I'm still looking at being able to find my niche because I want to be able to play something that not only would be lasting content, but something that I'm actually going to enjoy making each time, and something that I can find, at least something new to be able to do. So this way, it's just as fresh for me as the videos will be fresh for you all as well. Um, and in everything that we've played so far, like I do enjoy playing Veiled Experts. I'm not sure how much more be able to get out of it. Hoping Helldivers 2 is that experience. Well, I mean, we'll see. We will see. Of course, and basically for me, until something happens, there's no guarantee on anything. So I can't say, oh, this is really going to be the next big thing for myself or anything like that. Um, so, uh, yeah, that's kind of where that falls. So of course, right now I want to have a niche. I really do, and I have been looking at a lot of stuff, but there's a lot that I'm not able to really get into right now because as it stands, I just don't have the financing to be able to constantly grab new games if they have a price tag, and there's some that I would like to get, like RoboCop. I want to get that, but at the same time, I have to be very frugal with my monies. Um, I need to be a little stingy on that until I have, especially with my move coming up, which that's another thing we will get into here shortly. Uh, so there, yeah, I'm on a look for my niche, and with each game I play, I'll try to find it. And if it's in the indie games that I end up playing, then great. If it ends up being in Helldivers 2, that'd be great as well. I'm trying to find that thing that will grab me, and every time I play, um, I can always end up doing something new because because that will get my attention, and if it gets my attention in that regards, then I will be able to make like the best content I can out of it. There will always be something that I'd be coming up with for it. um so that's pretty much where I am at that point. So a niche right now, not really. I mean, I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing the Monday Night Indie videos, each week reviewing 3 different games. And yes, I know, I know to Sprix that I hadn't completed a game yet on those videos, but those are really just a first look throw. So it's just a first look into it, see how fun it is, and show it all to y'all. Uh, it's not that I refuse to beat any of them. Okay, again. Yes, I do know, Sprix. I do know. Yeah. Uh So yeah, I am aware. But yeah, those are just for first looks, because if I was to complete out each game, like the first level, it took me ultimately like 4 minutes with all the deaths to be able to complete for like Stuart the Fox. And so, I like I said, I can make a video for that because it was actually kind of fun. So I can make a video completing the entire thing from stage one if y'all want that. But getting back on track, niche. Not right now. Still looking, hoping one of the games we end up playing soon ends up creating that niche. Because whatever the niche ends up being will end up taking over at least the majority of the channel. So this way I can put more focus onto that. Now, into the whole deal with videos and such. Um, ASA, what is ASA? What is ASA? But anyways, moving on. Um, oh no, I'm not playing. I'm not playing any more Ark. I'm done with Ark. I'm just done with Ark. Okay, I put over 1,200 hours into Ark initially. I've played with mods and I've done everything that I could possibly do. And I'm in Genesis 1 and 2, outside of the few dinos that they added into it. It's a To me, it's a worthless system for Gen 1 and 2. And with the way they have the new Arc coming with Ascendant and Arc 2 coming out, and it just all feels mishmashed. Yeah, I'm not doing that. No Man's Sky, I kind of played that in the ground. Like for as good as they made it after the initial launch, um, it got boring quick. Like it's pretty much go to a planet, mine, leave the planet, uh, pop a couple ships. It's like it's too repetitive, and there's not a lot of content there for me. Yeah, yeah. It's No Man's Sky itself is a bit more like you're kind of lost in space and grindy. Like if I could, like for survival games, if it had you know some different mechanics and actually kind of had more of an expansive deal and be able to play it with friends, maybe. Um, but I'm not really going to be pushing those for the channel. Um, and talking about the talking about with the making the content, playing the games and other responsibilities. That's actually something I've been asked about, like how do I manage my time? And to be honest, my time management is a little more sour than I would like it, just because of everything that I currently do have going on. Of course, there are personal things going on that I just don't really have uh, any reason to talk about for as personal as they are. In other areas, though, like I had mentioned before, I'm moving at the end of the year, at the least, after Christmas. I'm going to be moving. And I'm going to have to put a lot of time onto that because looking for uh, the housing, everything like that. Um, and just making sure I have all of that taken care of. On top of that, with the making the videos, of course, sleep is something that takes out time. but I also have other responsibilities. Like I have the woodworking that I do. I'm working on projects right now for people, and I need to make sure I at least get a few hours, if a day in on doing that. Um, and then also the music creation, which I haven't actually. What happened to Sync? Well, I had. Okay, so going off subject for a second. Synced. Um, yeah, we had spoke about it on a. We had spoke about it on two streams. I did not make a video on it, and I feel bad that I did not post a video about it. But considering, the whole over deal about it, so Synced ended up being with their newest update after the last video I posted. They had an update that basically forced like a Trojan into your System 32 to be able to track your information. Cause China, you know. Uh, so that's what happened with that, and so I didn't even install the update. Yeah, yep, that's what it was. It was a malware. So I didn't even install the update. I just removed it. We all removed it, and we just never touched it, which sucks because Synced was actually a really freaking good game. Like I was actually enjoying it, even though they had like the whole mobile gaming model for their cash shop. Yeah, it was like EA and mobile gaming had a horrible love child with that cash shop. But yeah, so we'll just leave it at that. Um, but yeah, going for back to the original deal of just everything they have go. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was talking about with the cash shop. Um, but going back into all the stuff in personal life, um, I have all that stuff going on, and mind you, I'm only as is right now. Now, after I move, it's going to be a little bit after the move before I can really get back into the swing of things on the channel. So there may be like I'm trying to be able to push as much content as I can. Like I'm not really going to be able to do a lot of like Christmas themed content come December, just because I'm going to be focused on the move, and I'm going to at least try to somehow push enough content to get me through the month of January as well. So it'd be kind of old content, but not old content because um, so just so I can kind of pad out that. Uh, but as it stands, I only have 4 days a week that I'm able to actually make any content. Make content, do the woodworking, do what I need to in terms of around the house or out of the house, and the streams and all that. So, mind if I end up actually getting sleep, then I have, I'd say maybe it's a total of 72 hours to work on everything when everything is said and done. And that's if I'm being generous about that. So, yeah, currently with the way my time management goes, it's all over the place, unfortunately, right now. But once I move and such, I'm already kind of figuring out scheduling now with that, and I should be able to put a little bit more of a dedication. Film a bunch of woodworking content, edit schedule for next year, gives you 1 year, make consistent content to fill up as much as possible. Thoughts? Yeah, I actually would like to do that. That's actually something that I was thinking about, is actually making a second channel for my woodworking, because I do a lot of by hand stuff. For anybody who hasn't seen, like you see this pile right over here. this is actually a lot of my stuff is actually wand making. And just to show you like what currently like my best wand is, I have a purple heart wand right here. Um, and it took me a decent amount of time to make, and it feels really good in the hand. So now I really enjoy it. I love the woodworking. Um, that would be the third channel. Oh, right. So also going forward, me and my family are apparently making a variety channel where each of us have a day to post different content. There'll be more on that later on after we get everything like settled and scheduled, but that's something that the family is looking forward to. So we'll see however that goes. Um, Another thing that I've made. Check this out. Yeah, I made a paddle. Whack. Like, it's close to the size of a cricket bat, but, made this puppy too. 2x4s. Very nice. Yeah. I would not mind the clots. Yeah, so, been over by TiVo. The chirping. Mm. Yeah. So, going from there, one thing I did talk about earlier was the fact that also, I tend to have, at the beginning of the stream, I was mentioning that I tend to have audio issues and things like that. The equipment that, and I don't blame my equipment for it. It's like I'm more on like sometimes my OBS ends up having a bit of a spritzer or whatnot, during streams or even recordings. But my equipment's actually pretty decent equipment. Currently, my my tower is actually it has a well, boo. It has an Intel i7 80 8400K in it for the processor. I've got a 1650 Super for the graphics card. I got, only like 16 gigs of RAM in it, but, so far that's been pretty decent for me. And for my mic, I am actually using a Razer Seiren X. Ended up getting on sale because the store I got it from ended up over ordering by like 3 times their order. So I ended up getting on a stupidly good sale. And my headset is a Logitech G435. It's the wireless, so I actually get pretty good sound, like good sound quality on this. It actually works surround sound pretty well too. Um, and then for what else I have on the system, my monitor is it's an old Sanyo TV screen. Okay, it runs at 60 hertz. And that's I've had it since freaking 2016, 2017, and it's lasted me this long as a monitor. So as long I have it, I got it as a Christmas gift. I ain't knocking it. It works. Like I would like to be able to get like a dual monitor setup in the future. I'd like to be able to expand a little bit more on that kind of stuff. But I think I got a mouse. Yes, Black Friday is coming, but my wallet is still kind of going against it. uh, yeah, like if I'm able to find something that's stupidly cheap and I have the money for it, then I'll definitely go for it. Um, otherwise, uh, yeah. Otherwise, it ends up being, yeah, just I gotta save money. I'm moving. I need to be able to save money. So we'll just kind of go off of that for it. Um, and growing off of that, like my mic, like I said, my mic, it's a Sarin X. It's actually pretty brand new. It's only a few months old or so. Um, it's just kind of like with all the cutouts for the audio that ends up happening with some videos or streams or whatnot. Just kind of more lie in the capture. And even though with like no matter what I do with OBS, it seems to have a mind of its own. It's like sometimes it wants to come through crystal clear, like it's actually been doing during the stream. Other times it wants to make it seem like I am so loud or so soft that it just can't hear me for anything and wants to cut me out. Audio issues have only really been my big thing. And as you can see, I have also ended up getting better video quality. My camera it's a $20 like a $30 camera that I got for Christmas. It's from Amazon. It says 1080p and it captures okay, but I would like to get a better camera as well in the future. Otherwise, for lights in my room, since I have a basement room, I have string lights, around the top corners of the room, and I have a ring light that is sitting off right above my rig, and that's what's causing this whole side of me to be like very bright, like white. Yeah, so that's kind of the equipment that I'm currently working with. Otherwise, like, I'm a budget right now as it is. I'm a budget streamer. Yeah, I'm a budget creator. Like, work with what I got. Would I like some better stuff? Heck yeah, I would. But, it's also a work within your means kind of deal for me. And I'm hoping after the move and such that I have the opportunity to be able to grow in terms of equipment as well. Um, so and that kind of goes into another question I've had is, biggest challenges of, doing the content creation is one challenge has just been, the equipment, just again, budget streamer, working with what I have and being able to do the best with what I can. Um, Editing in bulk in a single day would be good. Um, I do like as it is. I'm going to be actually allocating Wednesdays, so I'm doing this special stream for today to go over all of this. But I guess this is to go into future plans. Um, and of course, I'll expand on future plans after, here in a minute or so. Um, um, no, I actually haven't gotten any clients yet from Fiverr. Like Dorwolf has hired me for a couple of his vids. I know I messed up on one of them, and he was nice enough to, still accept it and everything, but I did mess up a little bit on one. I don't know how it happened because I played it back in the editing software. Yeah, it takes time. So like I'm not counting it out at all. It does take time though. So um yeah, exactly. Um so once I do pick up a momentum on that and I get better, then I'll just end up having to allocate time. So in terms of the future, because with the move and everything, and I'm going to actually have more time at home after the move, then I'll be able to actually put more focus onto videos and being able to do more in that regards. So I will have more time after I move to be able to focus more on being able to make more videos and being able to make them better. Um, on top of whatever other obligations I end up having at the time. which yeah, again, so biggest challenges have been equipment and time. Um, because again, with everything happening, it ends up being overwhelming. So with the instance of getting overwhelmed, especially again, ADHD, autism, everything going on at once, trying to figure out what is more important, everything going this way, that's that, it just, it all collides. And it's not like I'm not blaming it by any means, because I'm it does make it a little difficult, where the cons are, even though there are still, pros in terms of having, like, I don't count it as a disability, but I count it as playing on, like, I'm not playing on easy mode when it comes to my head. Let's just put it that way. So that's where that goes. Um, so, keeping that short, sweet in terms of just the challenges I've had. And in terms of things like the challenges and such, anybody else that actually would want to end up doing streaming and such, or making videos, it really just it takes a lot of mental dedication, because there's some days where, there's been some weeks where I felt like I haven't gotten any content out of anything that I've done. And depending on, seeing numbers and such like that, and it's just numbers, and it always can end up getting better. Yeah, it's dedication. So just having to really push dedication onto it, um, like, to put it for instance, I can honestly say when I was younger, it was so hard for me to keep any sense of dedication towards anything. Um, just in terms of, like, there's several factors, and to go into all of them would make this stream maybe twice as long as what I planned on. Um, but when I was younger, dedication was really difficult. And after, uh, one thing that really helped me in the sense of getting back into dedication, like, actually not even getting back into, but actually being able to feel dedication, is I've been on keto for the past, it'll be 3 years come January 1st, that I have been doing the keto diet. Anybody who doesn't know what that is, that means, like, pretty much, um, like, I eat less than 30 40 carbs a day, compared to the normal adult diet has at least over 200, which means no rice, almost no beans, um, corn, which eliminates also a lot of breads. Like, uh, most of my diet ended up getting cut down. Uh, for drinking soda, I drink zero sugar soda, or if I want flavor, I buy sugar-free flavor packets of stuff. Um, like, I go, I hardly ever eat out anymore. Like, I hardly ever go to eat out, because, everything that you could go and get that'd be like a quick bite, it's, you know, pretty much like cut down by 2/3 of what you're buying, because most of it ends up having, um, like, rice, beans, bread, or like sugar filled sauces and whatnot, noodles even. And I've actually stuck to that for the past almost 3 years. Okay, mind you, uh, I am now in a size 30 pants, size men's 30 US. And before I started on keto, I was in a men's 48 US of pants. And before that, at the age of 16, I was in a men's 52 US pants. So it's definitely been a lot of dedication to be able to do that, and that's definitely helped me in growing, in being able to dedicate myself to something like this that that's like I'm not seeing immediate results for everything that I am seeing results nonetheless, and it just takes the time and effort, and I just got to keep pushing with it. So dedication is the key goal for it. You know, like I and always growing is definitely it's a good, and it can be a bad thing as well. Always growing, always changing, because on one hand, if you're always bouncing around to and from, but at the same time getting stagnant, like say I find my niche and that's all I do, like that's everything I do, then it could get pretty stale pretty fast, even if I end up, trying to change up the content kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. Every channel gets stagnant for a while. So, yeah, exactly. Just got to keep pushing. Like, right now, I had a nice little season of growth, and my channel's been kind of stagnant for the past couple weeks, more or less. Well, like the past week or two. So there'll always be a season of growth, and it's just like farming. There's always a season of growth, and there's always a season of stagnation to let the ground retill, and that's when you change the seeds and let them grow again. So that's anybody that actually wants to get into content creation, just that's pretty much the bottom line on that. Find what you like. You can keep growing, but also kind of relish in the stagnation a little bit. Yeah, right. But at the same time, like I'm sure at some point in the midst of the stagnation, you'll end up, as long as stick to it. It just it'll come back eventually. It's the kind of deal where it'll come back eventually, and it could come back in a lot more than you probably thought. So yeah, that's pretty much kind of the whole deal when it comes to if somebody else actually wants to become a YouTuber or anything like that from actually watching my content. Like if I inspire anybody to also make content, then hey, you know what? Sure, why not? Yeah, use me as a role model. Oh, yeah. Which in terms of, like, for me again, for what I said before, a lot of what ends up also helping me go on is it's you guys. Like, it's everybody who comes to the lives and actually watches the content and actually engages, whether it's on a video or on a live, or on my community posts, which I need to put more of those up. Y'all been liking those, by the way, the community posts. Like I've been, I've been trying with those. So I hope you guys actually been enjoying those. But in terms of comments and things like that, like I've said before, whether you are, giving me kudos and good feedback, or whether you're giving me criticism or just trolling me, spricks. Uh, I really I accept it all, because it takes a lot more than good. Yes, but like it takes more than the good to give growth. You know, like uh, you know, think of it like this: it takes storms and bad weather to make a tree grow stronger. So for me to grow, like, I have to take it all, and we're always going to have people, whether it's out of some form of legitimate angst or if it's just because they want to be rude for the fun of it, they want to get a rise out of you or anything like that. You know, like I'm up for taking any of it. And for things like that, have I had moments where I've raged? I mean, everybody rages at some point, but it's like pretty much it's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. In fact, like it's probably just going to push me to keep going because like I'm doing what I'm doing, and if anybody is noticing and recognizing, yeah, you have. If anybody's noticing and recognizing in any capacity, then that at least means that I've caught some attention. And I think about it like this: say I have somebody come on my stream and say they stream snipe and at the same time they're tossing comments and they're trying to make content from my own misery and going from there, and they decide to make video content and they just so happen to have a lot bigger following than me, then guess what, dude just gave me free advertisement, you know. Like, and if they're just doing it for themselves, then at the same time, yeah, like, you know, as far as it goes, it's just, like, people are able to see anything. Yeah, YouTube definitely is a team effort sometimes. Yeah, and of course, no, in terms of YouTubers that, like, the only other YouTuber I've really collabed with is Dorwolf. Of course, I collab with Tebow. He hasn't been able to do much as of late because of life. Um, but like no, I wouldn't mind finding others to collab with if they were available during the times I'm available, and if we have games and interests that end up aligning. Um, yeah, and I've kind of noticed that in a sense, and it really depends on the genre that they're in. So it would so there would have to be a real tight knit um area in order to find anybody who would be able to go along with us. So in terms of actual like finding people to collab with, I'm not even really looking right now because of course I have like my friends, most of my friends, they don't make content themselves, but they're more than happy to support me, and they'll play games with me and they don't mind being on my content, and all the love to them because they've been supporting me for the past so many years. um so I'm thankful that I even have people to play with. Mm. uh would I like to be able to do more collabs in the future? Yes, I definitely would. But that is it's kind of a pieces fall in the right places kind of thing. So that's where that would end up going. Yeah. So going off of that and from what I've talked about, I think one of like honestly actually, um, one of my favorite times of doing collab was when I actually when I first met Dorwolf, and we're just rolling and dying while we were playing Smite, because of course I was doing this whole freaking act as Geb, and uh yeah, we're all just dying as I'm smashing through the enemy team as supposed to be a tank, but I'm using Geb as a freaking attacker and smashing things all at the same time. We're just rolling through and dying. Like that was one of my that was one of my most favorite moments. Like that was the moment that I knew at the very least that if Dodo accepted, we were going to be decent friends because we were feeding off of each other. We're so good with those games. Like that was particularly one of my favorite moments so far. Um, and and I'm actually really excited to be able to play more of these games with Dodo, and actually looking forward to trying to find a niche and everything like that, because it's all opportunity. It's really all opportunity, and it definitely makes life a lot better being able to move forward, and actually being able to share it with other people in that regards. So of course it definitely ends up being a lot. Makes things so much smoother. It makes things more enjoyable. Like the whole thing with Helldivers 2, I'm excited. And of course, Mini Royale. We're gonna try that out more together when they do the next playtest. So I'm excited for that. Um, there's just a lot. There's a lot of things that I really am excited for. There's updates for Hogwarts Legacy that's going to be coming out, so I am excited for that as well. Next playtest is next week, and hopefully I can actually run the playtest if it's within the time frame that I have at home. If it's just over the weekend while I'm away, then I'm pretty much tough out of luck on that. So here's hoping that that actually ends up, I'm actually able to join in on that, because I would actually really love to join in on that. Um, no, there's of course, there's just so much that, and there's always new stuff coming out. So I'm always excited for the next thing that I decide to play, because I'm really hoping that whatever it is, it ends up being good. I really hope it ends up being good, and it's something that I end up enjoying, because when it comes down to it, being a gaming content creator, um, it's pretty much looking over what somebody has made, and regardless of how big a studio it is, whether it's indie or whether it is an indie game or a big triple A game, when it comes down to it, either way, people put their time into making something. And especially the indies, because a lot of them are like 1 to 5 people trying to create a game that could ultimately end up being matched up with these big companies that have like 400 or 500 people working on them. There's so being able to experience them and everything is always really great. So I'm definitely looking forward to what we have coming in the future. Um, Mini Royale is a battle royale. Yes, we've already gone over this. Hotex. Ah, and speaking of indies and AAA games, um, um, my opinion currently in terms of indie to AAA games. Right now, I feel like indies definitely have a bit of a markup. Now, there are some large products in terms of the gaming industry right now, large companies that have done really well. For instance, again, Hogwarts Legacy came out earlier this year, and it was nothing short of fantastic. Um, just all the ability, like the story was highly engaging, the world was gorgeous, and uh, the amount of flexibility to questing and everything, it was so good. It was so good. And of course, Nexon has, while it's not being pushed out, Nexon definitely has Veiled Experts, which could be really, really big, but it is a good game. We played it quite a lot so far. It's a good game. So what you can consider some big companies, they got good stuff going on, but a lot of indie stuff. Like one game to go into games that I am actually really excited for is Zephyr, A Thieves Melody. It's a single player game. It brings back those old classic styles like Crash Bandicoot, or not Crash Bandicoot, but like the old RPG games, like platformer 3D things, kind of like Mario 64 and like Donkey Kong 64. Like it really brings back that old kind of feel, but it feels new as well. And I am so excited for that game. Like that is one game that is going to get a full playthrough on this channel no matter what my niche ends up being. That is a game that is going to be thrown on the channel no matter what, because it is just playing the demo. It was so good and I really enjoyed it. And I also ended up, receiving word from the creator of the game, Matthias, that he really enjoyed the video I made about his game, which I'm glad he enjoyed it. Uh, yeah, VX. Yeah, exactly. VX hits differently. VX definitely hits differently for TPSs. Uh, so that's again another game that I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, gaming industry. On top of again, a lot of indie games that are coming out. Whether the indie companies end up expanding on those games or not, who knows? Um, but it seems that they have a bit of a leg up on a lot of the larger companies so far this year, and that's where it's kind of at. And of course, like for game creation, things like that, there's the companies like that have been doing like it was freaking uh I think it was it Unreal, or no, it was uh which company was it that ended up like doing like this full on pro rating BS to any of their game creators. I'm trying to remember which company that was. But they launched that out and it's just like a huge finger to you know all their gaming creators that use their engine. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Unreal. I think it was like was it Ubisoft? Unity, yes. It was Unity, the Unity engine. Yeah, it was Unity. Yeah. Unity ended up doing that. And that's sad, okay? Like Unity is a decent engine, but also with the throw out of some games that came out this year off of the Unreal engine, like Unreal currently I see has a nice little heads up on it. But yeah, Unity engine giving a big finger to everybody who's made games with their engine. That's it's sad. It's sad. Like it is so sad. Seeing that kind of a thing coming from such a large company. It kind of felt like they decided, hey, uh, you know, Twitch did this to their content creators, so we could probably do this to our game creators. Yeah. Godot. Okay. Okay. I don't think I've heard of Godot, so I may want to look into that. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at in terms of the state of the gaming industry. Um, and it just kind of it's no like hopefully at some point I would not mind developing my own game. But in terms of where my niche is to where the channel goes and all that jazz, if I ever decide to make my own game, then I want it to be something that we'll all be able to enjoy. I definitely would like to make it a multiplayer game up to a 16-person party or world or something, like, something you can play with enough friends, but you don't have to have a lot of friends to be able to even play it, you know. That's how I would like that. Um, but yeah, to basically go over everything that's been going on with the channel and where the channel is going. Um, you know, I have quite a few like, in terms of long-term goals. Um, I want to be able to keep entertaining. I want to be able to keep um things growing. I would love to be able to be as big as possible. Anybody would really want that. All the while, I still would want to stick to where, my morals end up lying, in terms of, like, I don't I don't want to get there superficially. You know, like, having all of you being able to have this natural pushed growth and being able to experience things one day at a time. Like, every time I see a video get large, yeah, like, this is all a Q&A. You guys can ask questions, you can suggest things. Like, I'm more than open to it. If I can put into practice or not, that's up to, that's up in the air. But at the very least, any suggestions, any criticisms, anything at all, please, 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 please offer. XCOM 2. I think I played that before, but I don't know. No, I've seen XCOM played, but I've never actually played it myself. Um, But viewers become soldiers, and if you die, dead in the game. Yeah, that actually sounds like it might be fun. And I do know XCOM is strategy, and I do enjoy strategy games. So I might actually really enjoy playing that as well. So I wouldn't mind doing that for, like, stream at a vid. No, I'd have to look into that. But yeah, that's definitely a nice suggestion. I do like that suggestion. That is a very nice suggestion. Um, Let me see here. Yeah, I do like that. Okay. Yeah. I could definitely take a look at it. No. Yeah, I'd definitely be into looking for that. So, like, yeah. So for the long term, for what I was saying, is pretty much, I want to keep growing. I have everything else I have going on. I really just want to be able to continue forward while making sure that I have the time for what is important in my life, outside of what is shown on cam, what's shown on video. And ultimately, I want to be able to grow and I would love to be able to sustain myself off of this, but at the same time, I just want to be able to also kind of make a decent mark, because I feel like if I at least make one person's day just a little bit better and helps them kind of relieve their mind of a little bit of the stress or ire that life could be able to hand them, then I feel like I've done what I've set out to do for the channel in general. And the more people that I can reach on that, then the better it goes. So, like, I also do plan, like, I'm not active in promoting out my merch, but I mean, I do have a merch store. But of course, later on I'll end up pushing that out and such. It's, you know, I'm still a small channel, so I don't really want to badger anybody on like, hey, you know, buy my stuff. Though it is something that here soon I would like to at least put a at least give a little bit more light to, because, you know, again, doing stuff like this, it takes time. Time takes you know, it takes funding, so I want to be able to make sure that um, I'm able to live comfortably and support myself and my son while also being able to make the content that I really enjoy as well. So that is another big thing on that end. Let's see. Warhammer 40, Mechanics, Space, Hulk, Tactics, Gears, Tactics, Invisible, Inc., Phantom Doctrine, Midnight Suns, Shadowrun series. Do how-to videos. How-to videos, tutorials and guides. I was looking into doing that. See, I've always been a jack of all, master of none. So it's always been a little bit difficult off for me making tutorial and guides. Like, I am trying. I have made a couple videos that are kind of like a tutorial in a way, or like a guide. So I have been trying to work on that kind of content. Um, yeah, getting started guides, yeah. And for games that I actually end up having some form of a knowledge of, I definitely would like to make that stuff. Um, it's just, I don't. Yes, 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 yes. Noob, I know the whole Noobiversity thing. It was like, uh, it was a good idea in my head at the time. And you're saying Noobiversary. Yeah, Noobiversity. You know, like a university for noobs. Like I said, it was a good idea in my head at the time. Okay. Either way. Either way. It was a good idea in my head at the time. It didn't go over well. So that's my bad. You know. Yeah, that's pretty much where it goes. So, for things that you know I had already been asked quite a bit. That is that's pretty much all the questions that I, you know, had stuff lined up for. Is there like would there be? Oh, I do know a question that was asked to me on completing stuff, or I went over that already. Yeah, I went over that already. Yeah, because it was Sprix. Um, yeah. So there will be a few games that I will be trying to complete, you know, on the channel as well. Otherwise, do you all have any questions for me right now? You know, anything else that you would you know, want to know, like, or any comments, concerns, or just anything else, like while I'm looking at the list that I have. There was a billion questions on. I only saw two on the community. Well, like, I say two, but there was only two comments on the community post uh, that I had seen, and oh, I need to expand these things. Okay, let me see. So okay, I see them. I do see them now. Okay. So going through the questions that was asked on the community post, will I? So starting off with Bill, um, Bill's questions. Settle into specific gamer genre. We already kind of went over that. Will I focus more on providing videos rather than streams? Um, yes. I will be putting more focus onto my videos, so I've already kind of edged into that. As you know, as of now, I only do 2 streams a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm doing my streams. Of course, Thursday night is more of the group night. And on Tuesdays, I do the Torture Tuesdays, with the horror gaming because it's fun. It's something that I actually get to do with my friends. And, like, even though with the Torture Tuesdays, some of the games I'm kind of getting used to the whole deal with the horror at the same time, they still kind of freak me out, especially when people are playing blurps. Uh, oh, thanks. Um, but yeah, I am going to try to put more focus on the videos that I have. So this way, I can grow more into that for not just learning the editing, but also for my, my own channel. So I do plan on doing more videos, though it's not as, at least in my eyes, it's not as interactive as I like to be. Which is, again, as I stated earlier in the stream, is one of the reasons why I really like streaming, is it feels more interactive. But yeah, I will be focusing a bit more on videos come this future. And saying more of a suggestion, investing in shorts and TikToks. So that's a little bit offhand. So, shorts and TikToks, like, I would mind putting a bit more to it. It's just, I don't know. In my head, it just feels like I have a TikTok. I haven't really put much towards my TikTok as of recent, and my TikTok like it's all over the place. It has some of the gaming content. It has some messing around content. It has some woodworking content. It's got a lot of different kinds of things on there, and like pushing the videos onto TikTok as an advertising venue for the channel directly, then it would definitely end up being like, I'm sure it'd be decent. It's like in the midst of all the conversion and everything, on if it's something to really push forward for, which I'm already having enough of a mental time trying to focus on everything else rather than just constantly uploading like small short stuff, which of course it's small shorts, so there should, it should be fairly easy, but at the same time, for how much content I actually get out of things compared to what I'm actually putting up, it doesn't, like, the outlook is a little different. uh so I'm pretty sure it'd probably be a lot easier than my head's making it out to be. So possibly, just once I get into a better groove after everything, then I probably end up pushing more for like shorts, TikToks, things like that. Um, I don't see how, like, it's. I'm not sure on how well it'll go. It could probably go really well. But that's definitely for something to look forward to the future after everything is said and done, with the move. Um, so, not in, let's see, so, he had mentioned I've been pretty hands off with the community, not interacting with comments and only talking if we show up to the live streams. Will there be more replies in the future? Yes, I will try to. So I reply when there is a anything that is in terms of you know a reason to, like, I'm not just going to reply randomly to something. Like, if somebody posts a comment, um and if it's just something that seems like offset and I can't think of anything to reply, I'm not just going to say anything random, because if to me, replying to something, I generally would want to put an actual thought to whatever I'm saying. I mean, of course, when I look through the comments, if I'll end up leaving the heart thing, or I'll leave a thumbs up, on the comments and whatnot. It's just like, if it's just there's it's not that it's less of I don't want to, like, it's not that I don't want to reply or anything like that. It's just I don't have a reply. Like, I just don't have anything. So I'm not just going to reply to something completely randomly and just say something and it has no sense of a conviction. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely, yeah, like, yeah, I mean, I can definitely start, if you want me to reply like thank you or anything like that instead of just doing the heart deal. You got to get out of here, Sprix. All right, well, I appreciate you for being here, my dude. Thank you for being here and, you know, all the chatter. Yeah, so at the end of the video, I'm going to just do a summary. So I'm going to do or at the end of the stream, I'm going to do like a 10-minute summary just to go over everything and just cut it out there. No edits, just cut that 10 minutes. So, yeah. So that'll be a video for people for the highlights. But yeah, I mean, if you really want me to not just do the, heart deal and all that, and you want to hear me say it, then yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. In my head, also hitting like the heart likey thingy, or what it in my head it seemed like the same thing. But if to y'all it's not, then I will definitely make more of an effort to actually drop a reply and not just the heart thing. Um, so I yeah I yeah okay. You only get notifications that I read. Okay, okay. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Mm. Okay. Okay. Then yeah, and then I will definitely go ahead and I will make is if I reply. Okay. Then I will definitely put more of an effort towards that. Because I really do appreciate you all. I can't say it enough. And then the last question you had was, what's overall direction you want your channel to go? We have already kind of gone over that. Just now for Rockstar, GTA 6. I'm done with GTA. Yeah. But yeah, overall direction want our channel to go. We've already kind of gone over that. So pretty much I wanted to go as far as it possibly can with y'all along the way. And to get into let's see. So Sprix's comments, will you actually beat a game from start to finish? We've already kind of gone over that. I do plan on a couple games start to finish. Thoughts on more co-op adventure sandbox games? We've actually kind of already gone over that as well. I would like to play more as long as we all are able to have fun with them and they end up actually being really nice. Well, sandbox in itself, it's very it's all sandbox is I think one of the broadest genres because there could be a lot of stuff to do. Like there's sandbox survival, and then like sandbox is pretty much just being able to build or like create a world in a sense. So there's a lot that can be done in terms of sandbox. Like you could end up doing something really stupidly quick, or have something long and drawn out. Yeah, it just really depends on the game and what you're trying to do. Uh, so co-op adventures and sandbox games for the right with the right one, yes, but we'll see how that goes. Um, what FPS am I most hyped for in 2024? I'll be honest, I have not been paying attention to any real FPSs coming out. Like the only FPS I am aware of that I am a bit excited for, which is already out, is the RoboCop Rogue City. Now it's already out, but I don't have the money for it, so not playing it yet. But if it goes on sale and I got the money for it, I'm totally getting it. Because if y'all saw the first look video I did on it with doing the demo, it was fun as hell. And I definitely am up for playing that more. But I haven't seen anything in terms of FPS for 2024 that even has my eye caught right now. Let's see. Will I do more non-gaming related content? If so, on this channel, or will I make a second dedicated channel? Non-gaming content, of course, we talked about this a little bit earlier for the woodworking and such. I would love to make a second dedicated channel for it. But of course, that is a little bit further into the future to figure out after the move and everything and make sure that I have the time for it. I would love to be able to do it though. On a scale from 1 to 10, how likely are you to make more than one video a week in 2024? Well, as it is, I'm already working on like doing 2 videos a week. I have the indie videos that come out on Mondays, and I have like it's kind of like, I guess you could call it random for the videos that I end up having coming out on Fridays. Like on Friday is when I will launch the like I'll have my hypercharge video come out. I plan on that being out on Friday, so look forward to that. But I definitely plan like with the 2 videos a week currently. And do I plan on growing any more videos a week? I would like to. Just as I end up, pushing things out and growing into everything that I'm doing. Hey, Bill, good to see you. And will I collaborate with more YouTuber streamers in 2024 so I grow? Going back to that, we had already talked about it, but I would like to, but it just depends on who reaches out to me, or if I find anybody I can reach out to that would be in the same area or genre, and just kind of go from there. So that in itself is real. That's really just kind of up to chance, because there isn't like a Tinder for YouTube creators. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just go on there and keep swiping right until somebody swipes right on me. It's like, let's make content together. You know, like, Discord, Twitter. So, my Twitter, like, I haven't really advertised it off as well. And currently, I have 3 followers on my Twitter. So I will need to, yeah, I do need to get better at using that. Like, yeah, I will have to get better at that. Well, mind you, I didn't start using Twitter, and I didn't actually start using my Twitter until like a couple months ago. Like, I had the Twitter, and even then, like, I spent like 3 months trying to get them to unlock. Like, I spent like 3 months trying to get them to unlock my account, because I didn't use it in so long that the moment I logged in, they flagged it for possibly being a bot account. So it removed everything that I had on it, so my Twitter is pretty much started off from square one. Okay, like that's the whole deal with the Twitter. Okay, like so that in itself, like considering I use my Twitter much, that's the whole deal. But at the same time, um, here, if y'all want my Twitter, here you go. There's my Twitter. Go ahead. And you'll see how much I actually have on it currently. Like, I've had my Twitter since freaking October of 2009, and now I have 4 followers, okay? Like, for the longest time before I really started getting into streaming and making videos, like I was pretty much black web. I was off grid, okay? Especially since a lot of social media like Twitter and everything ended up turning like so freaking toxic. I just didn't want to deal with it. Like I have a Facebook page for the channel and I have my own Facebook, and the only time I ever actually even use it is when I'm using Messenger to talk to someone. Like that's as far as social media has ever been for me. And you have to go again? All right. Well, sounds good, Bill. I'm glad I could see you, and I hope you have a good one, my dude. You know, you take care. Yeah. But what I'm going to do right now is I need to use the restroom. So I am going to just take a brief little, yeah, I'm going to take a brief little break. Uh, to use the restroom, kind of stretch my legs a little bit. If you haven't noticed, I keep fidgeting around, um, and stretch legs and whatnot. So hopefully, uh, you know, we'll go over a few other things anybody wants to ask and such here in a moment. So everybody can go ahead, stretch a little bit. Now, I don't know if you've been walking around a stretch or anything like that, but I will be right back here momentarily. Oh, I forgot I had that. I still had that up from Halloween. I don't use the screen a lot. In the meantime, um, I'll go ahead and play one of my songs for you. In fact, I'll just go ahead and drop the album.
Okay. Sorry about that. Let me. I forgot I had it on a repeat. I'm back though, so I'll just throw the other music back on. Okay. Well, I am back. Okay. We all have a decent break. Uh, so. All right. We all doing good? We all still here? Here. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Uh, so, anyways, uh, no. Let's see. So, getting back into all the questions that we've had so far, uh, and for all the, you know, no, all the stuff that we've talked about. Is there any other questions that any of you may have um, that you know you might want that I haven't covered yet in regards to everything going on with the channel and moving forward? No. Any other questions at all? Because, like I said, it is a you know, no, Q&A night. Q&A. Because I want to make sure if there is any other questions before going into the summary for the video. Hmm. But, okay. Well, if there's no more questions, then it looks like we'll probably be hitting the end of the video. Well, the end of the stream. So, in summary, let me just go ahead and start off by saying, hey, everybody, it's Blood, and this is a summary of everything that we got going on for the channel moving forward into the end of the year, new year, and just kind of what to expect from the channel and everything like that. So, to summarize, currently for my YouTube channel, I have a lot of growth that's going to be happening. We're going to be focusing a little bit more on videos in terms of all the content that's going to be coming out, including uh, co-op games, things like that, which are going to be a little bit more prevalent on top of the indie games and such, and maybe other stuff as well, depending on what ends up growing on the channel. I do look into possibly making a dedicated channel at some point for my woodworking, and that's just something that I would like to do. But going forward, as it is towards the end of the year, I am moving, so that is going to have a big impact on what I'm actually going to be able to do on the channel, on top of everything else I have going on. So that's a little bit up in the air until I get all that settled out. So I do hope you all end up bearing with me as I make that transition into a new stage of life, because I'll be moving with my son, and of course, spending more time with him on top of everything else I'm doing, including editing my own videos and doing editing projects for others, doing my woodworking business, which I'm trying to take off currently, and everything else that comes my way. Do I have anything that I'm generally excited for? I have a few things excited for, including Zephyr Thieves Melody, which I'm going to end up playing fully out once it releases onto PC, and going from there. I do plan on also expanding on the equipment that I use for the streams to be able to bring a better quality, and opening myself up to better opportunities where that goes. I do also have plans for launching out and promoting my merch store as well for the channel once we hit past a better threshold for subscriptions, views, and things like that. And a lot of challenges moving forward for the channel, for myself and such. But I do definitely appreciate everybody who has been a big support for the channel, and will hopefully continue supporting the channel and myself as I go through the stages to be able to grow. I do not have any future aspects to collaborate so far, but just collaborating with Doorwolf is amazing, and I have been enjoying that as well. So I'm looking forward to what we end up doing. Of course, any comments, concerns, criticisms, or praises, just whatever you feel like putting down, please go right ahead. If you have any questions that hadn't been answered either during the stream or during this video, by all means, please ask them, and I'll be more than happy to answer them in a timely manner. Um, Otherwise, for a lot of the stuff going on, with the move and everything, I'm just glad that I'm able to actually do this. I'm able to entertain you all, and I'm able to keep moving into a better time. Um, for anything new, noteworthy coming up, we're doing a lot of videos for like looking towards Hypercharge and hopefully Mini Royale and whatever else in terms of the gaming industry to be able to push forward to. So that's pretty much just a summary of everything. And if you want any more in depth, uh, look into everything that's going on, you could definitely go ahead and check out the full stream that happened. I'm leaving a link down in the cage for everybody to be able to access that and have a deeper look into it. So until then, I appreciate every single one of you. You have been a tremendous boost for the channel, for myself, and I hope I can continue to give you several years and memories to be able to entertain you and be able to connect further. So until then, I thank you all, my little blood clots, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. And that is going to be the end of the stream. So, again, I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a very wonderful evening. Look forward to us playing Upgun tomorrow night. I'm excited for that. So until then, I hope you all take care as well, my little blood clots. Take care.